can you please tell us about yourself?
All right, so thank you for having me on your channel. My name is Gideon Boadu. As you said, I'm originally from Ghana, but particularly from Cape Coast in the central region. I basically, that's what, I don't know if you want any further detail, but as my background from Ghana, Cape Coast, and I came to Australia from there.
Okay, so can you tell us about your previous education in Ghana?
Yes, so I had all my pre-tertiary and initial tertiary education in Ghana. So for my primary through to junior high school, through senior high school, through to university first degree, and half of my second degree, all from Ghana. So yeah, before I came here, I studied all in Ghana and not anywhere else.
Okay, now for your bachelor's, can you tell us about which school you attended or which university you attended and what program you offered?
So I attended the University of Cape Coast in Cape Coast in Ghana. I studied a 4-year Bachelor of Education in the Arts and majored in history and religion. So I was prepared to teach both history and religion in Ghana. So that's my background in terms of the my bachelor's degree at UCC.
Okay, so when you finished your bachelor's, were you working prior to coming to Australia for your postgraduate studies?
So my experience is that once I finished, even before I finished my bachelor, I was doing some stints in secondary school teaching as I was studying. And when I finished my bachelor, I did a 1-year compulsory national service as anyone else in Ghana. I was a teaching assistant at the University of Cape Coast. And then after my 1-year mandatory teaching assistant role, I sort of enrolled in a master's program in Ghana, while also assisting the department, but in an unofficial, way. So I was sort of continuing on with the teaching assistant thing, but not official, and also doing a master's at the same time.
I see. So now you finished your bachelor's, you started master's for a while, and then you were also assistant, like you have mentioned before. So how come you finally found yourself in Australia?
All right. So anytime I'm asked about this question, I smile because it's a common experience in Ghana that people doing national service will be hunting for scholarships overseas. And in my case, I never dreamt that I would be here in Australia because I hadn't even heard about any university in Australia, to be honest, until my master's degree, when one of the professors who taught us one of the courses who had studied his PhD in Australia was always talking about Australia. So that was what drew my attention to Australia. But as I was doing my national service, I was basically hunting for scholarships or universities in the US, in the UK. I sort of landed on an Australian university website, I would say by accident. And the reason why I would say it's by accident was that I was just doing trial and error. At the time, finances was hard. So I was basically trying to avoid schools that would, ask me to pay application fees for my program. And so I realized that I would start one school or one university application and abandon it because I had to pay maybe $100 or $80 for application fees. So I never made a headway. And so I ended up applying to my university, Newcastle, and another university in Melbourne. Those are the only 2 universities I have actually applied to.
Okay, I see. So tell us a bit about your experiences when it had to do with your application to the US and the UK and other universities. Were there disappointments like rejections and all that before chancing on Australian universities?
I would not say there was or were rejections because I never really completed any of the applications.
Oh,
when I
okay.
got to the point I had to pay application fees, I didn't pay because I didn't have the money, so the application was not even submitted. So that was just an endless cycle. And when I started the master's after my service, and this professor was always talking about Australia, given his Australian experience, I was just prompted to keep looking. And so I landed on University of Newcastle website. I don't know how, but yeah, that was the breakthrough.
So it means if University of Newcastle had also asked for application fee, it means you wouldn't have applied.
I wouldn't have applied, yes, because I didn't have money to apply for any application. Any university that was taking application fee, I was just not in the States. I didn't have any money to apply to those
Oh, I
universities.
see.